It's too much money. Probably one of the most dreaded objection in enrollment conversation, especially if you're a healer, if you're a transformational guide, someone who really cares about your craft and about the impact of your work on the people that you're blessed to work with. The good news for you is inside of this video, I'm going to show you how to very skillfully navigate the money conversation, especially when your prospective client says it's too much money. So the very first thing, and something we're always grounding inside and based on my enrollment as love affair method, is everything boils down to you. So if you're someone who is triggered about money conversation, if you're someone who is experiencing a shame around receiving money, then addressing this objection is going to be really, really difficult for you. Which is why, first and foremost, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your own relationship with money. And undeniably, this alone can be a process. This is not an overnight experience. This is not a one-day transformation. This is something that you have to really diligently attend to. That being said, what's really helpful just before the enrollment conversation is to ask yourself two simple questions. And that is question number one: what assumptions am I making about the money reality of my prospective client? And you can think about it, you can write these thoughts, write these assumptions down. But chances are you're gonna hear yourself saying, I assume that my prospect is not going to have money, they're gonna struggle with money, they're gonna give me money objections. And if that's true, what's really important discernment you need to make and the awareness that you need to bring for yourself is the assumptions that you're making even before having the conversation, even before understanding the financial reality of your prospective client. Those assumptions alone are actually impacting your energy. And your energy is going to impact your tonality. It's going to impact your physiology. It's going to impact the choice of your words. So it is your personal responsibility to really identify those assumptions and subsequently set them aside. Now, the second question you want to ask yourself even before you enter the sales conversation is, if I fully trusted in myself and in my capacities to handle money conversation, how am I going to show up? Now, chances are when you ask yourself this question, you are going to really identify an attribute of confidence or money magnetism, or having the utter conviction that what you do, your program, your offer, your coaching package is the perfect solution for your prospective client, which is why money conversation can be handled gracefully. Now, once you are in the conversation and your prospective client says specifically, it's too much money, we want to understand that it's too much money does not mean that prospect is saying, I can't afford it. It also means the prospect is not saying it's very expensive or I don't have the money. They are saying it's too much money. And we want to handle that objection exactly for what is stated. So when someone says it's too much money, the very first thing you want to intentionally explore is understanding, is too much money compared to what? Is too much money compared to Louis Vuitton bag, or is too much money compared to anything that you have invested in yourself until this point? And this is very important exploration because both for your prospect, they need to make that understanding in their own mind. Many times is too much money is a habitual way of your prospect actually delaying making a decision or simply bringing the too much money almost as a barrier between themselves and what they want, the transformation they want to create for themselves, and of course, the capacity to say yes on their behalf. So when you explore this, and let's say your prospective client says, look, I have never invested that level of money or that amount of money in my own healing, in my own transformation, in being supported by a coach. This gives you a very meaningful ground to go deeper. So if that is being said, what you want to further explore is understanding the results and the outcomes your person will want to see in your work together, that will make them see and make them believe that this is the greatest decision, the greatest investment they have ever made. So the question you might bring into this conversation is something like, look, I completely understand that you have never invested this amount of money before, which is why allow me to ask you a question. What specific results would you want to see in our work together over the next 3 months, 6 months, depending on the length of your package, that will make you look back to this day and say to yourself, wow, this has been the greatest decision I have ever made. And you want to let your prospective client really think and feel for themselves what those outcomes, what those results will be and would be. And then as they state them, as you explore them together, you want to create a mental bridge between investing whatever your program is, let's say $4,000, and the specific results they want to have in place. Because the beautiful thing is when you are really leading the conversation, not from a place of, oh, this is the high price, but actually from a place of the value that creates for your prospective client, it's a very powerful place to be. And this is the exact thing that we are doing in my signature program, Enrollment as Love Affair, where we really take you step by step through both mastering the art of overcoming objections, but also the necessary skills and the confidence you need to have to create a massive financial leap in your healing, in your transformational business, and do that from a place of integrity and do that from a place of caring. So if this is something that piques your curiosity, make sure to check the link in the description below. Last but not least, if prospective clients say something alongside where they actually don't trust you as the coach, don't trust you as the service provider with their money, now this might be connected to maybe they don't know much about you, and maybe and possibly you need to a little bit better work in your marketing, in your content creation. But subsequently, this can be also coming from some previous past experiences with other service providers or with other coaches where they simply have been ripped off or they have some form of traumatic experience. And that is something we'll be addressing in a future video. So I absolutely believe in you, and by once again, before the enrollment conversation, setting the assumptions aside and understanding what energetics, what character attribute you need to bring into your enrollment conversation, and then very curiously exploring where is that it's too much money coming from, and meaningfully guiding the conversation forward so your prospective client can really see and understand the value of your work as it relates to the context of their life. You are in for the win. And not only you are in for the win, but your prospective client is in for the win, because they will say yes to working with you and of course get the healing and the resolution that they are looking for.